Hi everyone, Mr. Peabody here. I'm going to talk to you about preventatives for bacteria and viruses. Now, on the market today, it's been on the market for many years, and it's been touted as something that kills 99.9% of bacteria. Now what they've actually extended that to is that now it kills 99.9% of pathogens. So that includes viruses, and as you can see on this, it's marked as it's tested and shown that it's effective against COVID-19 virus. That's interesting. Now, when they test these things, and just be aware that that's an aerosol can. So they're telling you that if you have an aerosol can, I don't have Glen 20, and the only other thing I've got is fire spray, so I'm going to use deodorant. When you spray this thing, it's a mist. And you know that that mist is a whole lot of tiny droplets going through the air. And it looks like a vapor cloud. Same as like you know that when you see water running from a hose, it looks like a continuous stream, but in actual fact it's a whole lot of droplets all separate coming out together. So if you see it in slow motion and with, the macro lens on the camera, you can see it's all separate droplets. Same with this. It's a mist, but it's a whole lot of little droplets, and they spread out. That's the whole reason of the mist, is to spread it out. And they're saying that kills 99.9% of bacteria and now viruses. I call bullshit. Now, when they test these chemicals that go into that can, do you think they had in an aerosol can when they tested it? At one stage they did, but they would have started with just the normal chemicals. But if they got a petri dish is a nutrient medium for growing shit like bacteria, and it's usually a round dish. It's a clear plastic round dish. You've all seen petri dishes, and it's either got like a blood-based or a plant-based nutrients in it, so you can test for what bacteria actually grows on it. But what you do is you get a petri dish and you get a swab, and you can get a petri dish and swab anything in your room, absolutely anything. I mean, you could have used the Glen 20 and sprayed everything in your room, and you could still go around and swab and put it in so you do like lines across the petri dish, and you put the lid on and you incubate it and you watch and see what grows. Anyway, so bacteria will grow. Viruses won't grow. I'll explain that in a second, but bacteria will grow. And, it might be good bacteria, it might be bad bacteria. As you know, your body is covered with natural flora, which is bacteria, but it's good bacteria because it's bacteria that actually lives with your body. It's symbiotic. So that actually helps you prevent you getting infected by outside bacteria, because your normal flora, bacteria on your hands, on your skin, everywhere, all over your body, if other bacteria tries to invade, your normal flora says, I was here first, bugger off. And so outside bacteria has a hard time getting a stronghold on your body. But let's go back to the mist. When they would have started testing this stuff, it would have been like, they would have got a whole lot of chemicals, squeezed it all together, stuck it in the petri dish, and said, yep, look how much of the bacteria it killed. But if anybody knows anything about bacteria, they know that they've actually got a protective gel coat around them. And they don't just grow separately. They grow in clusters, right? So think about it like you've got the quarterback, he's got the ball, he gets pinned to the ground, and the whole team piles on him. Think of that as like a bacterial cluster. So you've got a whole pile of people all on top of the quarterback. So they come along with this spray and they go, and the outsider guys, they're on the outside. Their gel coat gets exposed to these chemicals. It might get through the gel coat and kill the outside layer of guys. So then you've got to remove a few footballers. But you've still got an inner coat of guys, and they've also got the gel coat around them. So you need to spray a little bit more, and then you'll kill them off. But no, what they do is they get the chemicals, they put them all together, and they put them in a petri dish, and they saturate the shit. And 99.9% of bacteria don't survive. So what you need to do with an aerosol, considering that you've got a gel coat around the outside of a bacteria, and you need to spray quite heavily to do anything to the first layer. But in order to kill 99.9% of bacteria, you'd have to do this. I know you can't really see that, but in the bottom there is a pool of deodorant. You'd have to saturate it to kill 99.9% of anything, and yeah, that wouldn't really do much to cover much of a surface area. That's why in a laboratory, at the end of the day, why they wipe all the surfaces down, I think with 70% alcohol, but you don't wipe it down and dry it off. You leave the alcohol on the bench surface. That's why they use 70%, because if they used 100%, it would evaporate too quickly. That's why you leave a small film of alcohol on laboratory surfaces, so it's got time to kill shit. Plus, they put UV lights on, and they leave them on overnight, so that anything that's in the room gets killed off. Now let's talk about viruses. Viruses are non-living entities, so you can't tell me that any spray is going to kill a virus when it's not alive. All a virus is a bunch of chemicals together that's got chemical receptors on it, that if it gets into your body, it can interact with your cells and then change what your cell does. What it does is a virus will latch on to a body cell. If it gets a receptor that's compatible, it'll latch onto your body cell, and then it will introduce its own chemicals into your cell and change the programming that your cell has for what that cell produces. It might be a skin cell, it might be a blood cell, it might be anything, but whatever it is, each cell in your body has a program to do something. And what the virus does is it gets in there and it changes that programming to say, hey, I know you're told to do this, but here's some new orders. And so all of a sudden that cell starts producing more virus, and that spreads out to other cells, and then you get like a real problem with the virus. So does any spray kill a virus? No. No. Can it mess around with a virus? Yes, it can denature a virus, depending on what chemicals are there. But once again, you need to saturate it. A little spray is going to do jack shit. Anyway, that's my thought for the day.